Have you ever been on a roll? Things are going well for you and suddenly out of nowhere it all falls apart? This is what we call a self-sabotage. We all do this, but the most painful part is when you don't know that you are doing it. You may feel like a failure or not good enough or worry about what others think about you. So to protect yourself from getting hurt, you subconsciously sabotage yourself. But here is the thing. If you keep ignoring your shadow, it will run your life. In this video, we will talk about 3 signs it's running your life. Let's dive right into it. Number 1. You are avoiding the things that make you feel uncomfortable. Carl Jung believed that our psyche is composed of 2 parts, the conscious and the unconscious. The conscious is everything that you are aware of at the moment. It's the part that thinks and makes decisions, while the unconscious is everything that you are not aware of. It's the part that feels but can't verbalize why. Our unconscious is divided into 2 parts, the personal unconscious and the collective unconscious. The personal unconscious contains all our repressed memories and emotions that we have pushed down. On the other hand, the collective unconscious contains universal memories that all humans share. It has everything to do with our instincts and our primal self. So now, let's come back to the main topic. When we were young, we didn't understand the world, so we developed certain coping mechanisms to deal with how things made us feel. If something made us feel uncomfortable, we would repress those feelings and push them down. And those repressed feelings never truly go away. They remain in our personal unconscious, waiting for an opportunity to come out. So how does this relate to the shadow? When we avoid the things that make us feel uncomfortable, we are giving our shadow power over us. For example, if you are afraid of commitment and the thought of losing your freedom makes you feel uncomfortable, you might unconsciously sabotage your relationships. You might get defensive and dismissive of your partner's needs and push them away before they could make you commit. Even though you might not be aware of it, but deep down you are avoiding the feeling of losing your freedom. Here's another example. Let's say you have a fear of being alone. So you rush into relationships just so you won't be alone. But then you realize that you don't actually enjoy spending time with that person. So you break up, and then you feel lonely again. And then the same cycle repeats itself over and over. This is what we call a neurotic love style. You have a fear of being alone, so you unconsciously sabotage your relationships by choosing the wrong partners. So what should you do instead? You need to face your shadow head-on. You need to become aware of the things that make you feel uncomfortable and why you feel that way. Only then can you start to heal and move forward. Number 2. You judge yourself and others severely. Have you ever been on a roll? Things are going well for you and suddenly out of nowhere it all falls apart? This is what we call a self-sabotage. We all do this. But the most painful part is when you don't know that you are doing it. We all judge ourselves and others every day. Sometimes these judgments are helpful because they help us to improve. But other times they can be harmful because they make us feel bad about ourselves. When we judge ourselves too harshly, we feel guilty, ashamed, or worthless. This can lead to low self-esteem, anxiety, and depression. It can also make us feel like we are not good enough and that we will never be successful. This happens because when we judge others, we are really judging ourselves. When someone does something that we don't agree with, we feel uncomfortable. And since we don't want to feel uncomfortable, we try to justify our own behavior by putting the other person down. By doing this, we are really just hurting ourselves because we are reinforcing our own negative beliefs about ourselves. For example, let's say you are a perfectionist and you judge yourself very harshly. You might think that everyone else is perfect except for you. This belief would come from a place of shame and unworthiness. Maybe when you were young, you were always compared to other kids and never felt like you were good enough. So now you judge yourself harshly because you believe that you have to be perfect in order to be loved. Jung believed that the shadow contains all of our negative traits, and he called these traits the dark side of the personality. These traits include things like selfishness, greed, lust, and narcissism. When we judge ourselves harshly, we are really just projecting our shadow onto ourselves. So, how can we stop judging ourselves and others so harshly? First, we need to become aware of our negative beliefs and where they come from. Only then can we start to heal and accept ourselves for who we are. This doesn't mean that we should stop judging altogether. There is a time and a place for everything. Just make sure that you are not judging yourself or others harshly and unnecessarily. Number 3. You are always people-pleasing. Imagine this scenario. You are at a party and you meet someone new. You start talking and you realize that you have a lot in common. You exchange numbers and you decide to go on a date. On the date, everything is going well until suddenly the person says, "I want to meet your friends." Immediately, you feel a surge of anxiety. You know that your friends are not the easiest to please and you are afraid that they will not like the person that you are with. So you try to change the subject and steer the conversation in a direction that will make your friends more receptive. Even though you don't know why you are doing it, deep down you know that you are trying to please your friends. You do not want them to dislike the person that you are with because you do not want to feel rejected. But in doing so, you are unknowingly sabotaging your relationship. Why? Because you are not being true to who you are. You are trying to be someone else in order to make your friends like the person that you are with. And that is why the relationship will never work out. When we are always people-pleasing, we are running away from our shadow. We are afraid to show our true selves because we are afraid of being rejected. But here is the thing. Everyone has a shadow. Everyone has their own darkness. And it's only when we embrace our darkness that we can truly shine. So, what can you do instead? Start by setting boundaries. Let your friends know that you are not always available, and that they cannot always expect you to do what they want to do. This will give you the space that you need to explore your own interests and to develop your own identity. Another thing that you can do is to start saying no more often. This will not be easy, but it is necessary if you want to stop people-pleasing. No one is perfect, and everyone makes mistakes. The important thing is that you try to be true to who you are and that you embrace your imperfections. In conclusion, when we ignore our shadow, it will run our lives. We will sabotage ourselves and never reach our full potential. But when we embrace our shadow, we become whole and complete. We become more aware of our negative traits and patterns, but we also become more aware of our positive traits and patterns. And this is what makes us human. We hope that this video has helped you to see the importance of embracing your shadow. If you liked this video, please give us a thumbs up and share it with your friends. Also, feel free to leave a comment below with your thoughts. Thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next video.